real good feeling. Right now, 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 right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we have some very important things to talk about. Guys, we are going to be talking about the updated fundamentals going on behind the scenes of this massive Bitcoin correction that we have seen over the last couple of days. As you guys probably know, Bitcoin has already bounced and rallied all the way up to $42,000. We are going to be talking about the fundamentals going on behind the scenes, driving some of this price action. Then, we're going to be using those fundamentals to go over our long-term predictions on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I am joined as never as my co-host by Smay because Tim is out. How you doing, Smay?
I'm doing fantastic. You guys want to know why I'm doing fantastic? You see why I have this smile on my face? Because, guys, I've done it again. I have not only won one.
You look like
I have not only won two, but I have won all three of our price prediction challenges for the week. I have got a clean sweep. I am the winner. I am the winner, guys.
Let's go, Smay.
As the Celtics won, I too have won.
Hey, pull that light over here and show them the diffuser you're using. That's really funny. It's got a smangitan on it. Can you see that? Can you see that in frame? Can you see it? It's got a smangitan on it. He put a paper with himself. Anyway, guys, we are joined as never by definitely not high Zach, who is definitely not high, who is producing the stream today. How you doing, Zach?
Doing pretty good.
Doing good? Doing
He's
good?
my junior producer. I love him.
What do you want to be when you grow up, Zach? Ooh, how about you, Smay? What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to make movies.
You want to make movies? Yeah. Okay, well, he's making a movie right here with all of you guys. I'm so glad that you are with us today. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We have a great show lined up for you. I want to talk to Chap here for a couple of seconds, and then we're going to dive into some news articles. Let's see what's going on over in chat. Let's see. Smay, do you see anything great going on over here?
I see a lot of people celebrating my victory. Someone
said I knew Smay would mention the Celtics. What's going on with the Celtics? Did they just win a game?
No, yeah, they just won the play-in tournament to be in the playoffs. So
oh, okay.
Very exciting.
Okay, so they're going to get whooped on an even higher level than they were before. How about that?
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't even know.
Right,
Celtics are basketball, right?
Yeah. All right, bro. All right, that's enough of that.
All right, guys. So I have an article here that I want to start off with, if we can jump onto my screen. It is titled, Data Shows Crypto Downturn Driven by Short-Term Bitcoin Holders Panic Selling. Now, we already knew this, but there is a lot of data behind it that I want to bring to your attention. Short-term panic sellers appear to be tanking the market, but FUD is driving the narrative of worse to come. The number of addresses holding Bitcoin for more than 1 year has increased to its highest level ever, data from analytics tool Into the Block showed today. The recent Bitcoin sell-off seemed to come from short-term holders selling at a loss as the number of addresses holding Bitcoin for more than 1 year continues to increase to its all-time high in May. 57.61% of the addresses with a balance of Bitcoin are holding 1 or more years. You can see this chart right here, the recent Bitcoin sell-off, You can see the graph right here. If I open this tweet and bring up this chart, then you will see the number of addresses holding Bitcoin for more than a year is sitting at nearly 22 million. That is up from under 20 million just a year ago. And guys, let's go to full screen. I want to explain this really quickly. There's a lot to unpack here. These are some of the fundamentals that we're talking about in this stream. What I need you to take away from this is this. this. We have seen the paper hands. We have seen the weak hands selling Bitcoin over the last couple of days. What we have not seen are the hodlers selling. I'm a hodler. I haven't sold a dime. You might be a hodler, and I bet a lot of you guys haven't sold a dime. Drop a 1 in chat if you haven't sold anything. I am very confident in the long term of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and because of that, I'm not selling. A lot of people are in the same boat as me, and that's why we're seeing a lot of these addresses holding on to Bitcoin for the long term, remaining holding on for the long term. This is just simply more data to back up what I've been talking about for the last week, that our underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin is simply going up. The price can do whatever it wants, but at the end of the day, the price is only reflective of short-term ideas of what the market should be worth, but the actual value of the market continues to rally. That's a lot of ones right there. Guys, let's go ahead and jump back onto my screen. There's more to unpack here. This would suggest that the market downturn is driven mainly by short-term holders who are panic selling to exit their position. Although it's easy to throw disparaging remarks such as paper hands, the latest price drop puts Bitcoin at the precipice. Excuse me, I can't speak today, guys. I got no sleep last night, but we're
trucking through, guys.
We're trucking through. We got coffee. We good. It's coffee and crypto. With that in mind, now is the time for extreme caution. This is a good point. Essentially, what this is saying is that since all these paper hands are selling and it's caused a massive sell-off, it does put us in danger of a bear market. That's not to say that one has started, but it does mean that we want to be cautious and we want to be paying close attention to what happens next. Market downturn triggers bear market talk. Over the last 7 days, the total crypto market cap has fallen nearly 30% from 2.5 trillion down to a low of 1.4 trillion. It's now sitting around 1.8. We can see here over here on CoinMarketCap, it's sitting at 1.842 exactly at the moment. Leading cryptocurrencies down 40%. Analyst at Crypto Alkaline noted that Bitcoin is interacting with the 200 daily moving average, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. He says the daily close below this level would be a bearish sign and possible start of a new crypto winter. And quite frankly, he has a very strong argument there, one that we're going to discuss a little bit more in a bit. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We can also see the fear and greed index is currently at fear levels. At the same time, Bitcoin is flowing further down as it is not filling big orders. Most volume is from retail activity at the moment. Our last order book analysis is still valid, so our recommendation is to stay strong until that structure is broken. If this bear run continues, we may face a crypto winter. So let's go to full screen. Here's the deal, guys. Right now, we are on the precipice of potentially going into a bear market or a crypto winter, as people are playing it up to be. I don't personally think that is going to happen, but I want you to understand that it is in the cards. As much as I want to be all optimistic with you guys, we do have to be honest with you as well. But I genuinely don't believe that that is about to happen. I have a lot of fundamental and technical reasons that I believe that. But I want to see what's going on in chat. I want to see what you guys are thinking right now. Give me a 1 in chat if you think that Bitcoin is about to continue the bull market, or a 2 in chat if you think it's going into a bear market. And let's read a couple of these super chats, and we will continue on with some of our fundamentals. Have you been keeping up with those, Smay?
Yeah. So we have a super chat from our good friend Matt C. Says, "Hey Jebb, do you think setting up a weekly automatic buys of Bitcoin is a good strategy regardless of market price?"
Absolutely. That's called dollar cost averaging. The best day to do that is on Friday. That was one of the first things I learned about investing in cryptocurrencies, is whenever you're getting into the crypto markets, you just want to set up an automatic purchase to buy all the time. I have different ways that cryptocurrency comes into our accounts every single day and every single week, and it's a form of building up your Bitcoin balance. What you were talking about, having an automatic purchase set up once a week, that's called dollar cost averaging. Over on Coinbase, it's called a recurring purchase. You can set it up over there. I would encourage you guys to say, okay, I can afford $50 a week, or I can afford $100 a week, or $25 a week, whatever it is, and then you set up that recurring purchase and you just live your life as if you're making $25 a week less, or $50 a week less, or $100 a week less. You do the math and you extrapolate that out over a year. $1,200 a week is $5,200. You do that for 10 years. That's $52,000, not including Bitcoin going up. You could be sitting on $500,000, $1 million in US dollars, not accounting for inflation, just because you lived on $100 less a week. If you got one of these little coffee cans, if you got 2 of those a day, and you, instead of buying that, put that into Bitcoin, you'd be very glad you did. Dollar cost averaging is definitely something you should do. Totally agree with that, Matt.
We also have another one here from our good friend, Kenneth Gardner. Says, "Almost threw up yesterday morning.
Oof.
Bought the dip instead. Coffee and crypto, hit that like."
Boom! I like that. Smash that like button. And by the
Yeah.
way, Smay, might I say, you were looking strapping today, my young.
So are you, man.
Why, thank you. You don't have to lie to me, but I appreciate it. Like, you're looking good.
Guys, did you know that Jebb doesn't even actually have body odor? He is that. He is that. Guys, listen. This is actually a fact. We talked about it before going live. He is actually that pristine of an individual that he doesn't actually smell bad at all, ever. Even after working out. So that's just a fun fact about Jebb.
All right, well, there you go. Cool beans. Yesterday was arm day, and I am super tired. In case I seem like I don't have a lot of energy today, it's because I don't. I did not sleep well last night, but we're going to truck through it. There's also one more super chat that I want to answer before we continue. By Sev Kessler, donated $5, said, thank you for yesterday, Jebb. Loved that video. Absolutely, guys. Yesterday was a channel record for viewership, and I think also close to a channel record for subscribers. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. But we're going to move on here because I have some more things that I want to bring to your attention. Let's jump onto my screen. Bitcoin FUD. In trying to explain the market downturn, the host of Breakdown podcast, Nathaniel Whitmore, pointed out the onslaught of FUD recently. He added that he believes this is part of a wider scheme to discredit cryptocurrency. And in fact, this is something that is prevalent in the cryptocurrency space right now. Many people are under the belief that there is a concerted attack against Bitcoin. Give me a 7 in chat if you are of that mindset. And quite frankly, I can see where that mindset comes from. I'll weigh in on it in a second, but he goes on to say this. Elon Energy FUD. Resurgent Tether FUD, China ban FUD, used for crime FUD, regulatory FUD, welcome to the and then they fight you stage. I love that. That is exactly what we're in. Let's continue on here. Perhaps the biggest of these stories is the news that Chinese authorities have renewed their calls to ban Bitcoin. It's reported that 3 government bodies have called on institutions not to conduct business, with crypto companies. The bodies extend this call to members of the public with a reminder that the law does not protect cryptocurrency transactions. Regardless of the precise cause, the FUD events of the past couple of days bring home the precarious nature of investing in cryptocurrency. Let's go to full screen. Here's the deal. FUD and fundamentals are not the same thing. They both have the same letters in them. They're not the same thing at all. FUD is short-term, it is emotional, and it is salient. It doesn't last very long. Fundamentals are long-term, they're logical, and they are the foundation of the price of Bitcoin. Guys, FUD can cause a crash, but FUD rarely causes a bear market. Now, FUD might be the thing that knocks over the first domino in a series of events that leads to a bear market, but the FUD itself doesn't cause a bear market. A weakness in the fundamentals or the price being too high is what causes a bear market. Right now, the fundamentals are as strong as ever. The viewership on YouTube is a metric that I don't see anyone else talking about, but I love talking about because the number of people watching cryptocurrency videos on YouTube reflects the amount of interest in the cryptocurrency space. The amount of growth in some of these big YouTube channels like BitBoy Crypto and our channel and Carl and all these other guys that they've gone through over the last 5-6 months is insane. And that growth has not slowed down or stopped at all in the last 2 weeks. In fact, it's actually continuing to rise. For any of you guys over that watch BitBoy Crypto over on his channel, you might not remember, he was at 200,000 subscribers in January. He's at 1 million now. If you need any more evidence that the cryptocurrency space has more interest than it ever has in history, look at that. Look at the amount of viewership on YouTube. That is a very, very real metric of how much retail is sitting in cryptocurrency right now. And might I remind you, we just broke $1 trillion in market capitalization for the first time earlier this year. Not to mention all of that money, we're talking nearly $1 trillion that just got pulled out of cryptocurrency, roughly $750 billion at this point, $750 billion. All of that money that got sold out of Bitcoin had to go somewhere. It didn't just disappear. That money just didn't go into the ether. It got sold into US dollars and US dollar tether and stablecoins and pounds and euros and yen. There is so much money sitting on the sideline right now waiting to buy the dip. They're weak hands, yes, but as you go throughout history, those weak hands slowly become medium hands, which slowly become strong hands. Nobody comes into the cryptocurrency space as a strong hand. You come into the cryptocurrency space as a weak hand, and we have so many people that are newer to the space that have been here for less than 6 months. Give me a 10 in chat if you've been here for less than 6 months. We love our crypto noobs. You guys have a tendency to have weak hands, but here's what crypto noobs do. They become crypto experts with time. You add time and a crypto noob, and you get a crypto expert with strong hands. That's the way it goes. And we have so many people right now maturing into crypto experts that are building strong hands that the next year I don't see being anything but bullish for Bitcoin. Yes, it's possible that we could go into a crypto winter. Yes, it's possible we could go into a bear market. That is more than possible. I don't see it happening. Is there a concerted attack against Bitcoin right now with FUD? Absolutely. I can't tell you that it's all some dude behind the scenes pulling the puppet strings. I'm not saying there's like one world order or anything, but there's definitely a lot of FUD in the space right now, even if it's all coming from different directions. The point here is the market is not built on FOMO and FUD. It's built on long-term hodlers, and that is what we are seeing grow. And that's a very important metric that we shouldn't forget. Let's see what's going on in chat. Make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's get to 1,000 likes. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are honored to have you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Yeah, so I have 3 super chats here lined up.
Good deal.
One of them is kind of interesting, so I want to get your take on this.
Okay.
Our I guess good friend Big Ben Wagner says, please Google the email that was sent anonymously to several big YouTubers regarding this coordinated market dump using the China FUD as a catalyst. What do you have to say about that?
I know of no such email, so
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't know what he's talking about.
We checked our emails. We didn't
Oh,
get
no,
them.
we have several people watching our emails. I never got that.
And we got one from our good friend, Dimitri Jutris. Juicy Boy says, yesterday, I learned that it takes a lot of mental toughness to be in crypto. A lot of mental games are played.
Indeed. And that's why, yeah, so thank you so much for that donation, guys. Here's the thing. I talk about wisdom and mindset and emotional stability more than probably all the other crypto YouTubers in the space combined, quite frankly. And sometimes I get flack for that. They're like, oh, Jebb, you're 20. What do you know? Or, oh, Jebb, this is supposed to be a crypto channel, not a life advice channel. Or, oh, Jebb, trying to be a life coach. Here's the thing. Cryptocurrency is an entrepreneurial endeavor. I am an entrepreneur. I run a business. I understand the pain and the suffering that can go on whenever you see what you've been working for crumble in front of you. I've been there, and it hurts. And it's very real, and it's not something we can ignore. So that is absolutely true what you just said, and that's why I talk about that, because it is genuinely my stance that I want to give you guys the best information I can and prep you to be the best traders and investors that you possibly can be. Let's read a couple more, and we will continue on.
So we
here.
have one from the Bitcoin Babe.
Okay.
Cool name. Says, you guys are the best. My mom and I both watch this show.
Let's go. Okay.
That's
Good deal.
exciting.
Well,
Thank
your
you.
mom and you both better hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 likes. No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much for the donation.
All right, and then this one's for me. Matt C says, Smay, I hope my Lakers meet your Celtics in the finals. There's no stopping the king, except for when they meet in the finals, because that would definitely stop the king.
Oof.
All right.
Oof. We have one more. Let's go ahead and read
we have one
Charismatic.
more. Charismatic says, he was referencing the 4chan insider info. Also, what's up with the Middle East coordination to push the market down? Any info? Nothing I've heard about.
Guys, we have an entire research team that tries to keep on top of the market the best it can. We haven't seen anything about that. If you're seeing something in relation to concerted, if there's something we've missed, shoot us an email, support@cryptojebb.com, and we will get back to that. We have one more, so we'll go ahead and read this. Casey Powell donated $10. Thank you so much. What is your best advice for doing crypto taxes? I do not give tax advice. I'm not a tax attorney or a CPA. I can probably answer the rest of this, though. I bought CT2A the other day and looking forward to starting it. I watch your show every day. Keep up the great work, Jebb and team. Smash that like. Thank you so much, Casey.
Smash that like, guys.
Smash that like. What is my best advice for doing crypto taxes is to find someone who can legally give you advice on crypto taxes. Find an expert and speak with them, and it'll be worth your while, I promise you, because it is a bit of a nightmare. We have to deal with it because we're a company and we have all kinds of crypto assets in all kinds of different places. It's something that I can't go over on stream, but it is definitely something you need to know. Anyway, unless there is anything else, let's go ahead and move on here, because there's another article that I want to run through that is going to give us a little bit more insight as to what's going on in the cryptocurrency space right now. So let's jump onto my screen. Crypto crash sees legislators mulling over new regulation. U.S. regulators are growing concerned in a week that has seen Bitcoin lose a quarter of its value. This is something that we're naturally going to see. Regulators saying, oh my gosh, $1 trillion bubble just popped. What are we going to do about this? That's kind of, The regulators start caring when Granny walks up to the Congress building and says, I just lost all my money. What are you kids doing about that? And then they start getting upset. So let's see what they have to say. U.S. regulators and lawmakers have been revising legislation for crypto assets following a wild week of trading that has seen Bitcoin price plunge by $15,000 at one point. According to a May 20th Bloomberg report, Washington's financial regulators are still unsure of how to regulate the volatile markets. As banking regulators testified on Capitol Hill Wednesday, the Federal Reserve's Vice Chairman of Supervision, Randall Quarles, spoke of a lack of sufficient regulations, stating, "We are in the process at the Fed of studying the various ways to address this issue." He added that federal agencies need time to consider the right regulatory approach before they can create a framework for oversight. U.S. authorities are still primarily concerned with illicit activities associated with decentralized digital assets, such as market manipulation, money laundering, and a growing trend in ransomware attacks. So let's go ahead and talk about this for a second. Let's go to full screen. Here's the thing. Everybody is concerned right now about concerted FUD to crash the market. It's market manipulation is what we're saying. Is that it's not what I'm saying, but it's what a lot of people are saying, that, oh, there's market manipulation going on. Guys, regulation is turned into a four-letter word, and people hate that word, but and don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly a big fan of it either. I tend to lean relatively libertarian in these things. It's one of the reasons why I love Bitcoin. But regulation is not inherently a bad thing. Regulation done incorrectly can be a very bad thing. Regulation that tries to prevent market manipulation might very well be one of the things that can bring cryptocurrency to the masses. Regulation that tries to ban cryptocurrency, of course, is not something that I would stand by. But we don't want to just say, oh, regulation, I hate it, because it might actually be something that's very beneficial to us. Some of the problems that we run into in cryptocurrency of all these Ponzi schemes and all these scams and all this market manipulation that we see sometimes might be something that regulators could actually help with and create stable markets. Now, that's not to say regulators should necessarily always be trusted with that, but especially if we have a say in how that goes, it is something that we might want to consider might be beneficial for us. This is being construed as FUD. This is being construed as bad news, but it isn't necessarily. We have to take these things on a case-by-case basis. So let's continue on here. Texas Democrat Al Green implores Quarles to offer ideas on how Congress should regulate the market, declaring that this is a serious issue and we need your expertise. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets are volatile by nature, and large corrections of this magnitude have been the norm after such rapid ascents. However, financial regulators appear unnerved by this latest rout. They don't like seeing $1 trillion get liquidated in the span of 2 days. You can't really blame them on that. Acting comptroller of the currency, Michael Hsu, said that the other regulators have discussed setting up an interagency task force on crypto tokens. Meanwhile, Senate Banking Committee Chair Sherrod Brown separately voiced concerns over the volatility of cryptocurrencies, stating, "It tells me that fintech companies and others operating outside the regulatory system can pose a danger. I don't know the solution yet on these, but it's cause for concern." In a May 19th letter to Acting Comptroller of the Currency, Michael Hsu, I think I'm saying that right, Hsu? I don't know. Brown expressed concern over the OCC's, the Comptroller of the Currency Authority, to grant charters to financial and non-financial companies. He specifically mentioned cryptocurrencies Paxos, Protégio, and Anchorage, which were granted national trust charters under the previous head, Brian Brooks, who just left the OCC to join Binance. How about that? Sherrod accused Brooks of favoring cryptocurrency, stating a firm that cannot meet the rigorous requirements applicable to other banks should not be allowed to present itself as a bank to the public. He recommends that the OCC reassess any conditional national trust charters and halt the approval of any additional charters to non-bank entities. We're going to break all this down in a second, so let's finish. Earlier this month, SEC Chairman Gary Gensler advised lawmakers on at least one change that he thought they should make, which is granting the SEC clear authority over cryptocurrency exchanges, which, to be fair, that is what they do in stock markets, so it would make sense. Commenting on the highly speculative nature of Bitcoin, Gensler stated that it could go to zero or it could go high, and that's the nature of it, adding that there is currently a gap in the system with regards to regulation and investor protection. So let's go to full screen. Here's the thing, guys. The job of the government is to protect the citizenry against itself. The problem is when you give the government too much power, they, because they're run by humans, take advantage of it. The only reason that our governments have the ability to take advantage of their power is because they have control of the currency. That's why Bitcoin is so important, is because Bitcoin democratizes the power over currency and puts it back in our hands so that the government works for us rather than the government thinking, oh man, the citizenry works for them. That is why Bitcoin is so important. If Bitcoin is able, because it's not certain, but if Bitcoin is able to make a big change in the way our global economy runs, as far as currency being put back in the hands of the citizenry, then that is going to strip away the authoritarian power that governments have, and it's going to mean we don't have to worry about them overstepping in regulation as much because their power is given by us, which is the way it was designed to be in the first place, at least in America. Here's the thing. Regulation is not an inherently bad thing, but we have to take it on a case-by-case basis. Nothing saying I'm reading this article is inherently bad. In fact, I think some of the things that are being said in this article might be good for Bitcoin because, quite frankly, there could be a little bit more regulation going on in the cryptocurrency space simply because of how many scams there are and simply because of how much manipulation goes on in this industry. Unfortunately, it paints a very bad picture for Bitcoin. It paints a very bad light for Bitcoin. The people in Bitcoin right now are the people that are the innovators. We are the trailblazers. We are the people that are on an expedition well out. We're the people that would be on the Oregon Trail going out west. We're paving new roads. That's you and me. That's who we are. But the rest of the world isn't like that. They want a little bit more safety. They want a little bit more security before they go out and get involved in this newfangled cryptocurrency thing. And regulation, at least light regulation that doesn't step on our mission of reinventing the global economy, is something that might actually help a lot of people take that final step and join cryptocurrency. So anyway, let's see what chat's saying about that, because I'm sure we're getting some mixed opinions on that one.
I have a couple of super chats here that we can go through real quickly.
All righty.
All right, so we have first one from Mr. Scientific says, what would be the market cap of Bitcoin by the end of this year?
Oh boy, market cap of Bitcoin by the end of this year. I honestly think it'll be somewhere between $1.4 and $1.8 trillion. I think Bitcoin's going to be at $100K by the end of the year. We got another 6 months left in the year. We were at $20,000 at the beginning of this year. We rallied to 65. I'd be surprised if we weren't over $100,000 by the end of the year. So that's my take on that.
All right, next one is from, let's see here. BC Reviews 51 says, what you are saying is true. I put 30K in November and got up to 127K. Withdrew 35K at 2,900 Ethereum. Tuesday, had insane emotions but did hodl remaining.
Cool. Good for you, man. Good job. I love that. I love seeing that. What you did there is so cool. You put money in, you withdrew your principal, and now you're riding profits. That's really cool. That's how you want to do it.
All right, and then one more from Bill Clements says, thoughts on Harmony 1 still going to $1 this year? I just bought the bottom and put 25K into it. Thanks.
Oh my goodness, we get so many questions about Harmony 1. I need to get caught up on it. Guys, I haven't done technical analysis on Harmony in a while. Well, actually, I take that back. We did
it like 2 days ago.
We did it on Monday, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did TA on Monday. If you want to see more on Harmony 1, we talked about that in Monday's live stream. I think we had one more donation that we can go ahead and read here.
We have one that we just missed, so I'm going to read this
Spiral
one.
BJJ?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Go ahead. You can read it.
Okay. From Spiral BJJ says, hey, have you heard of Smegmars? Week-old charity coin with some pretty unique tokenomics.
I have not, and with that name, I'm glad I'm probably not going to hear about it again.
Alrighty.
Just saying.
Then I'm just going to read this one from Scott Hawkins to change the subject.
Okay.
Scott Hawkins says, what is a good asset to take profit in, not fiat? What are your thoughts on that?
Bitcoin. Because I'll be honest with you, one of the things that I started doing that made me very successful in crypto is I stopped viewing my portfolio in terms of US dollars. I started viewing it in terms of Bitcoin because it's ideologically consistent with what I believe, which is that Bitcoin is going to become the world reserve currency that we base everything on. So I look at how much Bitcoin do I have, and yeah, I like looking at its US dollar value, but it just doesn't mean a whole lot to me. Guys, make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already. And by the way, we actually are affiliated with Bybit. If you would like to sign up for a fantastic cryptocurrency exchange, there is a link down below to sign up for Bybit. It has fantastic customer service. It has a great user interface, lots of liquidity. It's one of the few exchanges that didn't go down yesterday when there was a massive correction, and it is the one that I personally recommend. If you want access to a great exchange, sign up down there. We actually have a video coming out on Bybit, a tutorial.
We do have a Bybit tutorial coming out very soon.
Which is coming out, I think, tomorrow. Might be coming out today. I'm not sure. At least in the next 7 days. Watch out for that. Guys, sign up for that. And also, if you are new here, I've been doing technical analysis every single day on this channel for the last nearly 4 years. I've been doing this for a very long time now. And I have an academy where I teach you guys how to do technical analysis. If you would like to learn how to do technical analysis, you should, because it is the basis of your trading. If you want to become a successful trader, you got to learn technical analysis. If you want to be a heart surgeon, you got to learn anatomy. If you want to be a trainer, you got to learn anatomy. If you want to be a physicist, you got to learn physics. If you want to be a trader and an investor, you need to know technical analysis, which is what we're about to do here in just a second when I'm finished. So if you're interested in learning TA, sign up with the link in the description box down below. We've served 4,000 students. Drop a 1 in chat if you're in CT2A and love it. Let's see if we can't get to 1,000 likes. And I think it's about time for us to go on to some technical analysis.
Let's
on
read this
Bitcoin.
super chat real
do it.
quick. Let's give him his day in the sun. Mr. Paul Zimmer says, "Oh,
What's up? Bitcoin.
Keep up the awesome work, guys. Thoughts on running 3 commas, DCA, or grid bots on Bitcoin or Ethereum?"
I've never used those. I believe those are trading bots. I'm not exactly sure. So I can't answer that one. I don't know. Unfortunately, I get a lot of questions, and I'm like, I don't know everything in crypto, so can't give you much on that
And
one.
you know what? That leads me into a point that I want to address real quick before we jump into some TA, guys.
Okay.
I've seen this. I saw this in the chat. Guys, here's the deal. Comparing us to other crypto channels, especially certain ones you guys are comparing us to, our goal here is not to be the private investigators of cryptocurrency. And correct me if at any point I say something wrong.
No, you're great.
But the reality of the situation, guys, is when we do our show and our research team, our goal isn't to dive into the absolute nitty-gritty of speculative whatever to try to expose something about cryptocurrency. That's not our goal on this show. We have a more broader goal. If you want to watch a channel that does that, there are channels out there that do that. That is not what we do. So just to dispel that there's any kind of connection there, it's not that we're not doing our due diligence, is that we just don't want to actually entertain that. So
yeah,
that's just not what we do.
Absolutely, guys. We're trying to do something a little bit different than that. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump onto Bitcoin. I know you guys are very interested in that. Thank you so much for the $5 Habibi time. Let's go ahead and jump onto my chart, and we will do some TA. Guys, Bitcoin has obviously been in a major downtrend over the last couple of weeks, and I know that a lot of you guys are scared, so let's see if we can't dispel that right quick. Let's start out here on the weekly chart because there's some very important technical analysis that needs to be done out here. Namely, as you can see, our weekly candlestick right now has a very long lower shadow. That is not something you see at the end of a bull market. Let me repeat that. You typically don't see a massive long lower shadow at the end of a bull market. A lot of times you will see that at the beginning of a new uptrend. Now, we did see it here, but at the end of the day, we had just gone through a major rally. We were not at the bottom here. We were at the top. Right now, we are at a bottom because we've been rallying so much already. We're going down. We're down 60%. A lot of times when you see that long lower shadow, you'll see it in an instance like this, or you'll see it in an instance like this. You'll see a long lower shadow at the bottom of the downtrend. We saw one right here. And the reason for that, we can see this throughout history on Bitcoin. The reason we have that long lower shadow is because it means the bears had their day. The bears made their final charge, but then the bulls decided, no, you know what? Actually, we're just going to go ahead and bounce. And right here, what this means is that the bears were in charge and the bulls said, no, thank you. We're actually going to take back the reins. And that's what we've seen happen. Bitcoin right now is using, or isn't using, but it's right below the 20 weekly EMA. We need to pay very close attention to that. I want to see us get back up above that in the next couple of weeks. That is currently sitting at the $46,500 region, so be paying attention to that zone. But down here on the daily chart, there is some more analysis that we have to do because we need to look at the 200 daily simple moving average that almost every single one of you have been asking me about for the last couple of days, and it is a very important level. The 200 daily simple moving average, similar to the 20 weekly EMA, is typically the bottom of the downtrend during bull markets. Notice here, we would pull back down and test it over and over and over again during the bull markets, and we would normally test the 100, but if we had to, we come down and test the 200. Right now, we are above the 200 daily moving average, which is very important. We fell below it briefly, but we are back up above it at the moment. If we look back here in history, we can see almost every single time that Bitcoin would go below this level for any extended period of time, it would be a bear market, yes, but generally speaking, the bull market would come relatively soon. The longest period that we've seen in recent history is this bear market right here. It only lasted a year, which quite frankly, a year is not very long. I was in the space back then. We were running this channel back then, but we didn't actually fall below it and stay below it. We fell below it and bounced up above it within a day. So again, we want to be paying attention to these things, but let's not get ahead of ourselves and get freaked out. Another thing to keep in mind is that we have a 9 flash on the TD sequential, which is still not reset. That 9 flash is demanding that this market rally. TD sequential is very rarely ignored, and when it is, it normally has its day. For example, we had a red 9 flash up here, and eventually we did have our correction that it predicted. We saw the same thing happen right here with the 9 flash, and right here with the 9 flash, and we also saw the same thing happen right here. Eventually, the TD sequential is right. It might not happen right away, guys. These are just mathematical equations after all, but in general, they will be followed. We can also see here that the Bitcoin MACD is converging bullish on itself. This is a big deal because for any of you guys who have not watched the MACD recently, whenever the MACD switches its direction, it generally is the precursor to a MACD cross. Notice all of these lines I'm putting here represent the change in the color on the histogram of the MACD. That means that they're shifting from converging to diverging, or from diverging to converging. And each time we saw that, a bullish convergence went into a rally. Bearish convergence, eventually we had a downtrend. Bullish convergence, we went into a rally. Bearish downtrend, bullish uptrend, bearish downtrend, but now what are we seeing? We're seeing bullish convergence on the MACD. Now, that's not confirmation that we're going into an uptrend, but it is a strong signal to indicate it. And one final thing I want to show you here on the daily chart is that Bitcoin's daily chart MACD pulled down to 22. That is the lowest level it has been since the COVID dump of March of last year, and that is a very big sign. The fact that we pulled all the way down there and tested 22 on the RSI indicates that we got massively overextended. Everyone who was going to panic sell probably sold, and now the market is a lot healthier. Let's go to full screen. I want to give you an analogy. Here's the thing. I've used the analogy of a controlled burn before. That's what we just saw. You have a forest, and it hasn't had a burn in 30 years, and it's got all this detritus and all this debris on the forest floor. There's all kinds of sticks and moss and stuff and leaves going on down on the forest floor. If there's no rain for a little while and lightning strikes one day, boom, tinderbox. The whole thing goes up in flames. But if every couple of years you have a controlled burn in that forest, you keep the forest floor clear, you keep all the dead trees clear, and then the forest is much healthier because of it. That's exactly what we're seeing right here, guys, is that this is not so much a controlled burn, this is more of a, oh my gosh, it's a forest fire, but it caused the same thing. It caused all of that debris on the forest floor to get shaken out. It caused all of those dead trees to get burned. It's going to cause the forest to be a lot healthier. The Park Service had to learn that the hard way, because for a long time, they were trying to prevent fires at all costs, and then they realized, wait a second, if there's no fire in this forest for 40 years, and the fire comes through, the whole thing's going to be gone the next time one does, because you can't prevent it forever. What we've tried to do over the last year is go into a rally and rally and rally and rally and rally and not have any controlled burns. And now what just happened is some lightning struck and the tinderbox went up in flames and we had a burn. It wasn't controlled. We pulled back farther than we wanted to. The reason we did is because we didn't have controlled burns, controlled corrections, to follow the analogy, in between that time. We kind of suffered the consequences, but now that the fire has gone through, it's had the same effect. It's weeded out all of the weak hands, all that dead underbrush, and now the forest, or the market in this case, is much healthier because of it. We are building on a much stronger foundation now than we were just 3 days ago, because the people that were in the space, that were scared, got out, and now the price at $42,500 is built on strong hands, and that is a very strong foundation from which we can build off of. Let's go ahead and read chat here. We're going to do some Ethereum technical analysis, and then afterwards I'm going to give you my long-term price predictions, and we will wrap out the stream.
All right, so I have some super chats here to read, just like before, guys. From Mr. Scientific, could you please explain ICP? I'm confused about its role in crypto.
ICP, that's Internet Computer, right, I believe? That showed up out of nowhere. It's up 67% today. Goodness gracious. It's up 60... Whoa, hang on. It's up 67% today and still down 40% on the week.
Ooh.
How does that even happen? What in the world? Smay, have we had anything from the research team about this? I've been...
No.
Yeah, no, I was asked this. I was asked about this in my peer advisory group by one of my fellow members there. It's up 84% today. I don't know a whole lot about Internet Computer. We need to get on that. Can you write a note on that?
I'm going to bug DOS about it.
Yeah,
yes.
bug DOS is our researcher. We'll bug DOS about that. And we'll get back to you on
about
that. It jumped into the top 10 out of nowhere.
Yeah, all right. So we have another super chat.
Cool.
Guys, we will bug DOS about that. So
we will.
Don't get upset.
We'll bug DOS.
All right. So here we have Bay Harbor Beauty. Thanks for all the positive comments. Thoughts on VeChain? Is it possible to do technical analysis on it? Thanks again.
If we have time, we might do a little bit on VeChain. I think VeChain's a pretty decent project, actually. It is built around the idea of supply chain logistics. I get asked about VeChain a lot, and at the end of the day, my opinion is always this. It's a project with a real... It's a cryptocurrency with a real project behind it, has a real use case. Seems useful to me for that reason.
Let's see here. I have, okay. JP Pecknick says, I apologize for trying to contribute to the conversation. My bad, Smay. I'll stay silent.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't know why you're upset. I
don't know what happened.
All right.
Did he donate?
No. I've been taking pictures of all the donations, not that I could see.
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm sorry. We can't get to every single chat.
Guys,
There's 4,200 people in here. Just so you guys know, 4,200 people watching. There are television channels that don't get that kind of concurrent. This is really cool what we're doing here, and I really want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. We got a little bit more content before we wrap out here in about 10 minutes, but before we do that, if you're enjoying today's stream, hit that like button. It helps out the channel exorbitantly. You have no idea. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content, guys. We have a ton of stuff going on behind the scenes. I cannot wait to show you. We have some fantastic launches and announcements and videos coming out over the next few weeks and months, so you're not going to want to miss it. Subscribe to the channel, hit that post notification bell. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of technical analysis on Ethereum. Ethereum is currently sitting around $3,000 in change, and it pulled back to $2,000 just a little while ago. It's up $1,000 in the last day, guys. The volatility in cryptocurrency right now is insane. We saw this 9 flash on TD sequential, got overextended, had a correction. I started telling you guys right back here that we needed to correct on Ethereum. Got a lot of hate for it, but at the end of the day, the technicals don't lie. I'm just the messenger, even if I'm bringing bad news. I'm just the guy telling you. We also saw that there was a engulfing candlestick right here, a bearish engulfing candlestick on Ethereum, and that was one of our signs that we might be about to go into a downtrend, and lo and behold, it came to pass. We can also tell, based on the RSI, that Ethereum hasn't gone as low as Bitcoin. It only pulled back down to 36, but that is still one of the lowest points that we've been ever since the COVID pandemic. In fact, we have not pulled back below 37 ever since the COVID pandemic, so this is a very strong correction on Ethereum. And guys, when you look at this with context, you'll realize that it's actually not as crazy as you think it is looking at it on the log chart. We have seen a gigantic rally, and we have seen a pretty big pullback, but it isn't something that we need to be terribly concerned about. I think what we're seeing right here on Ethereum, this big pullback, is somewhat akin to this first major pullback that we saw in June of 2017, where Ethereum pulled back 67% in the span of a month, and then we went on to do even greater things. I think we're seeing something similar happen on Ethereum right now. We're still above the 200 daily moving average, and if we go out here to the weekly chart, you guys will see that we're still sitting just above the 20 weekly exponential moving average. This is an important thing to note. Bitcoin fell below it. Ethereum has not. Bitcoin is struggling more than Ethereum is right now. I think that's going to shift. I think that Bitcoin is going to start having market dominance move from Ethereum and the altcoins into Bitcoin. I agree with Max, who we're going to be talking to here on the channel in a couple of days, when he says that Bitcoin's market dominance is too low right now. The altcoins are too high. Some of that valuation is going to start shifting from the altcoins into Bitcoin. I think that's something we need to pay attention to. This chart shows the current zeitgeist in the market, that all of the values in the altcoins, but now that we've just had this big shakeup, I think a lot of people are going to be taking a lot less risk and are going to want to be staying with the big dog, Bitcoin, for at least the next little while. I think if you're looking for an altcoin season, you just saw the end of it, and we might be about to see a lot of value going into Bitcoin. The thing we need to be looking for here, guys, is the total market capitalization moving to the upside again. I want to see it get back up above $2 trillion, and I want to see Ethereum and Bitcoin maintain around where they are right now. I don't want to see Bitcoin and Ethereum rally back to all-time high in the next week, and I'll tell you why. Let's go to full screen if we haven't already, because we have to say this and then wrap out. I don't want them to go into a big rally right now. What, Jebb? You hate Bitcoin. What are you saying? You don't want Bitcoin and Ethereum to go into a big rally? No, I don't. Whenever you just got into a car accident, do you want to have your son go and run a marathon? No, you want him to sit in the hospital bed and rest, right? I want them to recover. I want Bitcoin and Ethereum to rest, because they've just had something very traumatic happen to these markets, and it would be very healthy for these markets if we traded sideways for the next couple of weeks. So if the next couple of weeks are boring, good. They should be boring. We shouldn't be pushing ourselves too hard when we've already been pushing ourselves so hard for the last year. These markets need time to recover. These markets need time for people to regain confidence in them after we've just seen a 50% retracement on all of them. We've just seen $1 trillion liquidated, and I want to see that hold firm. So here's my thing. I think that Bitcoin is still going to over $100,000 this year, and I think that Ethereum is probably going to be trading above $5,000 by the end of the year, maybe even quite a bit higher than that. I don't think that's going to come quite as quickly as we thought, now that we've seen this massive flash crash come out of absolutely nowhere. And guys, I have one more thing that I want to tell you about before we wrap out, and that is this. We actually have a new sponsor of this channel. It's called Lux Algo. It's an indicator pack that you can subscribe to with the link in the description box down below. It has a lot of amazing indicators that we use here behind the scenes doing our technical analysis. I'm actually going to show you some of them in tomorrow's stream, so make sure you tune in for that. If you're looking for some indicators, they give you buy and sell signals. They give you a ton of different ideas about where the tops and bottoms of markets are. They help you understand the cycles. There's an oscillator, all kinds of different variables. There's a Discord server. If you want access to all of that, it's one of the ones that we recommend. You can sign up with the link in the description box down below. Use coupon code Jebb for 20% off at checkout. And by the way, guys, if you want to learn more about technical analysis, I encourage you to sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy with the link in the description box down below. We have been able to help nearly 4,000 students learn everything they need to know about technical analysis so that they can use it as the foundation of their trading and their investing to go and become profitable investors and traders in cryptocurrency. Give me a 1 in chat if you were annoyed because my phone is ringing. Sorry about that. We're in the middle of an outro. How about that? If you love CT2A, give me a 1 in chat. Let's see what it is. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Any closing thoughts before we go, guys?
Yeah, guys, look, I got a couple of super chats here. I don't know.
We have time.
You have time? All right,
yeah, we have time.
Let's go for it.
Let's do it.
Let's go through these super chats.
Yep.
All right, from Joe O says,
Joe
I
O.
bought Bitcoin at 42K and Litecoin at 220 and Chainlink at 30 and Ethereum at 2,800, all together combined for $4,900. $49,000. Am down $20,000. What should I do? Hold. He answered his own question.
Yeah, I would hold all of those in my personal opinion. I think those are all decent holds. I'm not the biggest fan of Litecoin anymore. Chainlink I think is decent. I honestly, if I were you, I'm not giving you advice, financial advice, but if I were you, I would probably hold on to them. It's not normally a good idea to sell when you're down. You know, it's just not the way you want to do things. That's a good question, though.
All right, then we have another one from Julian Barlow says, do you guys think Wyckoff's distribution is accurate?
It's one of the things that we actually have a note of on that paper right over there that we're looking into. I want to get more versed on Wyckoff. I haven't used it too much.
We'll bug Dasa about that one, too.
We will do that.
All right, then we have one from Chef Joey says, your thoughts on Australian Shepherd and Elongate?
Australian Shepherds are great dogs.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I just met one. Let's see.
All right, and then we
Chaz.
have from Chaz. You can go ahead and read that one if you want.
Yeah, Chaz donated $10, said, love crypto, but curious why all YouTubers shill high leverage exchanges. Seems to be a trend and drives a lot of volatility. Jebb, would love to hear your thoughts. Here's the thing, guys. Leverage is very useful if you're cautious. Whenever you buy a house and you put 20% down, what you just did is you just bought a house on 5x leverage because you put $1 down and you got $4 from the bank. It's 5x leverage. Leverage is something that can be very useful, but it doesn't make you a better trader. It just amplifies whatever your trading capabilities are right now. So if you're a bad trader, leverage is going to make you an even worse trader. It's going to make you even less profitable. If you're a profitable trader, it's going to make you even more profitable. It is dangerous. It needs to be used with caution, but I think it is a very useful tool for anyone who is versed enough in the cryptocurrency space and in the trading space to do so. Yeah, so guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's live stream. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that dislike button twice if you were annoyed by my phone ringing. I completely forgot to mute it. I'm so sorry about that. Guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.